And I want to know where you are in this space. Butler County, are you here? All right, Butler County, Floyd County, where are you? Hey. Kasuth County, where you at? Oh, we got Winnebago in the house. Where y'all at? All right, we got Hancock, Franklin. All right, someone said something about Cerro Gordo. They left the house. They're and if I missed your county, folk, where you at? If I missed your county, say it out loud and say it proud. All right, so look here. We know we've got a lot of counties in this state. The whole world knows about it. And all of our counties have their own way of doing certain things, right? I can imagine with a 7-county event pulling together the oh so amazing wing bean, that people had certain opinions about how they thought things should go based on how their county did things. Am I right? It happened. We all have our own ways, but there's something about us as individuals in every single county, certain ways that we have that are ways that we all have. Like the way that we think about education across our state. Iowans have a great deal of pride in our education system. The type of pride that actually produces the opportunity for our students to have a limitless future. That's our way as Iowans. And we can all agree upon that way. And when we talk about education and how historically we have not only led in the state related to our education system, but we've led throughout this country. It's important for us to come to terms with this reality because so often when we come across election cycles after election cycles, we're looking for a message. We're looking for something to say. We're looking for an opportunity to reach out to individuals. But there are so many issues in this election cycle, good people, that bring us all together. You know, our way as it relates to education is fundamental to who we are as Iowans. And I am of the firm belief that no matter what the challenge is that exists in the state of Iowa, Iowans know what's good for us. So when we talk about needing a vision, when we talk about needing direction, I am of the firm belief that this state is not short of vision. We just need a governor who's willing to turn the lights on. That's where we are. And I'm emboldened by our history, by the progress that we have been able to make. Nearly 100 years before Brown versus Board of Education, Iowa made a decision that education should be a priority no matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter where you live. Every student in this state, Iowa decided, should have access to a strong, quality public school system. We did that when we were probably 99.9% white, and we did it for a little black girl in Muscatine County. We did that. And so as we're facing the challenges related to education, our educators leaving the field, our bus drivers not opting to be a part of the process anymore, when we think about those folks who are counselors, who are maintenance workers, who are taking jobs outside of the realm of education, when we see that our governor is unwilling to fund the system but would rather allow it to starve, we got a hurdle in front of us, good people. But I'm here today to remind you all of our way. We are not short of vision in this state related to education or any other issue. We know the way. Why? Because we led. Time and time again. The unfortunate reality of where we are right now is that we have a governor who is insistent on standing in our way. That's where we are. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's something we can do about it, because in our state constitution, it clearly says all political power is inherent in the people. This current governor has lost sight of the people. We don't have to sit and ponder and configure why she has. But what we can do is chart our own path. What we can do is vote her out. And my question is, are you with me? We have talked a great deal about policy today. We talked a great deal about some of the challenges that Iowans are facing. And so, for some of you all who have heard me speak before, I don't want to go deep into policy right now. Because you all are hearing these moments because you believe in what the state is capable of. I don't want to go deep into what the other side is doing because, to be frank, what the other side is doing has nothing to do about us. These are the moments, good people, that we remind ourselves of what we're capable of. And we continue to not only restore our belief and our faith in what's possible in this state, but we shed that on other folks because we know there are people out there right now who are hopeless. You know them. They're experiencing challenge after challenge. They're going bankrupt after a healthcare appointment. They're being turned away when they believe that they are suffering a mental health care crisis, but their insurance can't even give them access to a psychiatrist. These things are happening all over our state. But again, we have to be reminded that we are leaders. Let's even think about agriculture. There's a lot of challenges with our agricultural system right now. But I want us to be reminded, and I'm reminded of what John Norwood often says, that Iowa punches above its weight. There are farmers in this space right now who have literally nurtured your land with your own bare hands. There are farmers in this space who poured their heart out into their family farms and the systems that bring life to our economies and create jobs. But we have a governor right now who's being silent on a very critical issue impacting all of our farmers right now.
Get rid of her!
Whether or not pipelines should be able to come to your land and you just lay down and allow it to happen.
And no!
That's a question. Our current governor refuses to answer. Why does she refuse to answer that question? I don't know, but there's something we can do about it. When we look at the lack of access to a sustainable wage-paying job in this state, I know we can do better than where we are right now. But we've got to be reminded, folks, of not the problem, but what we've been able to accomplish in our past. This state has not just led within our state. We've led this country time and time again. Y'all remember right during the brink of the recession, critical election was coming up. The idea of who would be leading our country during this trying time. The question was asked all over the country, who should be the next president of the United States? And this state said boldly and proudly, a black man. His name is Barack Hussein Obama. We said that in the state of Iowa, and here's the kicker that I love to share. The rest of the country listened to us. And so while we might get caught up sometimes in what Fox News says about our state, we might get caught up sometimes in what the DNC says about our state, it is important for us to know what we are capable of and what we are fighting towards. The people who have come before us put in the blood, the sweat, and the tears for us to be able to stand here and be boldly and proudly saying we're looking forward to progress. But we have young people like Maya who's here, like Alaska who's here, who might be facing challenges 15, 20, 30 years from now. And they will need to know that there is a way. But the way they will know there is a way is because you all will continue to chart the path. We are not short of anything in this state. We're sitting on more than a $1.5 billion surplus of your taxpayer money. When we think about all the challenges happening in Iowa, if you're on the outside looking in, you might think Iowa's broke. They don't have any solutions. That ain't true. We just have leadership unwilling to acknowledge who we are as Iowans, who's unwilling to allow us to see through our potential. These are the moments where we interrupt that cycle. We don't win this election on the back of my back alone or anybody's back alone. We win this election because of the work that each and every one of you all are going to put into it. And I know I'm putting a lot of pressure on you, but you showed up today. And if you showed up today, I know we've got a lot to work with. People need us in these moments. And I know in every election cycle, we beckon you to be a part of it. We tell you it's a critical election. We say it's incredibly important that you be a part of what we're doing, but you all know this is a critical election in this cycle. Freedom is on the ballot. Freedom to be able to exercise our right to vote, unhindered and unburdened by government. The freedom for a woman to be able to go into her doctor's appointment and make a decision that's best for her and not have to consider the opinion of Kim Reynolds. That's on the ballot. That's on the ballot. That freedom. The freedom to be able to go out in this lake. And if you want to wade in the water, you know you can get out and be safe. That freedom is on the ballot. The freedom for your kids to be able to go to school and you not have to worry about their safety while they're there. That's on the ballot right now. It's there. It may not say it plainly, but when you look at the names who are listed on that ballot, you all know in this room the ones who stand by your values, the ones who support the work that we must do in order to move forward as a state. But freedom is not easily won. We know that. Remember, MLK said in the March on Washington, let freedom ring, let freedom ring, let freedom ring. Remember that? Well, his wife came after him. Perhaps she was a little bit smarter. I can imagine her saying, well, Martin, freedom is never really won. You earn it and you win it at every generation. This is our moment in this election cycle. To not just win it for our future, to not just win it for ourselves in this moment, but win it for the posterity of those people who have come before us. These are the opportunities, folks, that folks from years and years from now who will be looking onto what happened in 2022. My hope is that they will be inspired by the work that we do, but here's the thing, we know that freedom's bell doesn't ring on its own. Bells don't ring on their own. They ring because of the work that we put into them. When I say Iowa is worth the work, it's worth my work, your work, and the people's work who aren't here right now. There is no question in my mind whether or not we can. You know the saying, if there is a will, there is a way. Are you willing? Are you willing to put everything you possibly can into this election cycle? Yes. You are. Yes. Good. So let me warn you, it's not going to be easy. The other side's tactic is to attack our values, to attack our morale. Why? Because that's our strength. Our strength is our belief in ourselves. Our strength is our belief in our community and the idea that we have strong solutions that can move us forward. That is a part of our strength. So what do? They come and attack that strength. Well, I need us to ignore that attack. The moment in time you see a sign that doesn't vibe with you, that gives you nausea, get on the phone and call a Democrat. That's what we do. When you're on Twitter, reading things that you don't like, or Facebook that don't vibe with you, call one of your 18 to 34-year-old friends and check on them. See how they're doing. These are the moments that we invest in ourselves. The other side is looking for an opportunity to join something, folks, and I know this by experience. Showing up at events, whispering in my ear, I'm a Republican, I'm an independent. That's okay, because we're the party with the big tent. We're the party that lays the welcome mat open for anybody and everybody wanting to see to it that we're thinking about all of us. This idea that you've got to rob Peter to pay Paul, we're done with that. We're going to make sure Paul is good, Peter is good, and Paul. And it's going to take some work, but we're going to get it done. Why? Because Iowa is worth the work. Iowa is worth the work. Are you going to work with me? Yes. Are you going to work with each other? Yes. Even when you're getting on each other's nerves? Even when you're bothering the heck out of each other, offending each other, are you going to keep on working? Yes. We are a family of people full of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let let us embrace it in these moments and do good for those folks out there who need us to do the good because we can. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Let's keep going. Let's keep holding strong. We've got what it takes, so we might as well. We might as well. Thank you all so much.